What is boom up, Overcome Army? It is Monday. It is that first day of the week. It is that first day that we kick things off, man. As one of our members on here said, it is that day to light the candle, man, to be that light in the darkness. You know, there's so much negativity and darkness out there. Everybody is negative. Everybody is divided. And I just think that if you are a leader of yourself, man, you are that light in the darkness. It doesn't matter. You're not depending on somebody else to get you off that X. You're not depending on somebody else to show you the way. You are leading. And what happens when you lead? Others naturally follow. So that's what's so critical. That is what I teach. How to be a point man for your own life, how to lead your family, how to lead yourself, how to lead others, how to lead in your business, how to lead in your job, whatever it is about setting that example, and it's about grinding forward. It starts with you, and then those waves of influence go out. But how do you do that? I mean, so many people are like, well, I'm not sure how to do that. Well, it just starts with the first step. That's all it is. And that first step is just, it always comes back to leading yourself. It always comes back to grinding forward. It always comes back to just a little bit of forward progress, guys, a little bit of forward progress. And I think that's what so many people don't understand. We set these gigantic goals for ourselves, and most of the time, no one follows through on them because they're too overwhelming. And what you got to do is, instead of going from here, man, we go to here. And it's just little tiny goals that add up to enable success. But when we're doing all that, today's topic is actually about balance, because I hear a lot of people say this to me. As a matter of fact, recently in the last year, with everything happening with COVID and everybody working from home, it's one of the big things that businesses are hiring me to come speak about. And they'll say, Jay, we want you to talk about balance. We want you to talk about leadership. That's always number one. Resiliency is number two. Those are kind of interchangeable. And then it starts to diverge. It gets into teamwork and communication and all these other different things. And the last one, they always say, hey, can you talk about balance? Well, here's the truth. There is no balance in the force. What? Yes, it's true. So hear me out. Hear me out. So the reality is this. So many people are trying to achieve balance, but there is no balance in the force. Balance is a myth. So the reality is, in this life, where we need to be striving, and this is some of the things that I teach, we need to be striving. It's not about perfect balance. It doesn't exist. I mean, the world is too chaotic. We're being inundated with information. We're bouncing from different things, trying to get things done. Not only that, we wear so many different hats. All of you out there, you may be married or in a relationship. So right there, that's one hat. You may be hopefully, if you follow me, you're also into fitness. So that's another hat, taking care of ourselves. You may be educating yourself. So that's a hat. You're a student. We're all students. You should be a student for life. You may own your own business, or you have a job. So that's a hat. You may be a parent. So you're trying to raise small humans to be good people. And that's a hat. All these different hats that we wear, that we have to figure things out. I teach something called the Pentagon of Peak Performance. It is 5 key areas that you need to apply time and effort into to be an effective leader. If you want to be a peak performer, if you want to achieve elite performance, then you will be balanced in these 5 key areas. Now, here's the thing. I said there's no balance in the force. Well, balance is a little bit of a misnomer, because the reality is, in this life, all of these things pull time and energy from us. And most people that I meet, though, what's the number one place we put most of our time and energy? Into our job. Because that's just the way it works. And we live in a world that unfortunately depends upon money. I won't even go down that rabbit hole. I'm reading all kinds of books on fiscal policy and the gold standard and a lot of different things. So money rules the world. That's the downside. The upside is you rule yourself, and you rule how you manage all of this. But so many people apply the most time and effort to their job and everything else starts to fall to the wayside. What's the number one thing most people give up when they're totally focused on their job, especially as we get older and we have all these demands on our time? Well, we stop working out and we're not eating as healthy, and usually our sleep goes down. Well, guess what, guys? Those are the three basic pillars of physical leadership, which is my first level, the Pentagon of Peak Performance. And then the next thing that we start to let go is mental leadership. And mental leadership is how I describe your ability to put time and effort into continuing to educate yourself. We always should be educating ourselves. I one time reached a point in my military career, and this was about the time that I got myself in trouble, where I felt like, man, I'm such a great leader. I know so much. And the world changed around that time. This was right about the time 9/11 happened. I was getting a commission. And holy smokes, man, did my career get off track. And I had to challenge my beliefs, my belief in myself, my belief in leadership, my understanding of the world. And really, I started just reading so many books about leadership. And today, so many people say, "Oh, Jay, you teach leadership. What have I heard? You're an expert in leadership," something like that. And that is a lie. I am no expert in leadership, man. I am a student of leadership, always learning, always making mistakes, always driving forward and learning from them and chalking them up to teach others. So mental leadership is our ability to do that. I'm going to get deeper into these over these next 6 weeks. The third one, guys, is emotional leadership. And this is such a big one. I feel like so many people have weak emotional leadership. I did. It's my weakest area. And emotional leadership is our ability to think through the impact of how we manage our emotions. It's okay to ride the ups and downs. We all have ups and downs emotionally. But I watch so many people that allow their emotions to drive their decision making. It's happening in America at an amazing rate. I believe that people believe more, or I believe that right now people are following feelings over facts. People don't want to hear facts. They're like, no, I want to follow what I believe in, not fact. But emotional leadership is taking a step back and thinking through the impact of allowing our emotions to drive us. I watch this so much in relationships. I watch individuals that in the heat of the moment, they say exactly what's on their mind when they're allowing their emotions to drive it, and it has this negative impact. It has this negative impact on you. It has a negative impact on your relationship. It has a negative impact on the people around you. Emotional leadership is recognizing that and controlling this round hole in the bottom of your face. Number 4, guys, is social leadership. How do we invest into the rings of people around us? How do we invest in our relationships beyond just work? Remember, going back to the beginning, most people put so much time and effort into work, and they take for granted some of the innermost rings, which is our close friends and family. And then the highest level, guys, is spiritual leadership. And in the Pentagon, there is no real balance. I think a lot of people think to themselves, and I hear it all the time, I'm so out of balance, or I wish I could get more balanced. Well, balance is merely awareness. It is awareness, and it is recognizing that in this life, we have to apply the most effort to the areas that need it the most, but recognizing those 5 other areas exist. And if you are balanced in the Pentagon of Peak Performance, it's just recognizing that every week I'm putting time and effort into all 5 areas. So I'm putting time and effort into my physical leadership. I'm putting effort into my mental leadership. I'm educating myself. I'm seeking out mentors. I'm challenging my beliefs. I am putting time and effort into my emotional leadership. I'm putting time and effort into social, investing in those rings of influence, and number 5, into spiritual. All these things are critical, and that's how we achieve balance. So, this idea of, we must find balance in the force, it's a myth. It's a myth. It is just making sure that you are balanced in your life by applying time and effort when you need it. I mean, sometimes if there's a major life ambush, you may be totally absorbed into work or one critical area. I mean, if you, someone wrote earlier that one of the members of our group wrote earlier about enduring multiple deaths around people that they knew. And that, of course, if you're going to these funerals or if you're helping people out, you're putting a lot of time and energy into that social leadership. So you may be ignoring some of those other areas. Your physical leadership may be waning. Your mental leadership may be waning. Your emotional leadership may be weak from of course, the high emotions and the toll that's carrying on you. But that's how we get back on track. When we get back, we need to say, okay, I've got to apply some time and effort into these other areas. So I've got some tools that help with that. If obviously, if you're a member of our Overcome Army, my group that gets Monday Muster live, and after we go through this short session, they get to ask questions, comments, and we talk about it. And then, of course, on our Wednesday night lives, that's when everybody gets to interact on those things. So if you're interested in the Overcome Army, check out our Overcome Army at overcomearmy.com. I also have my 72 Hours to Peak Performance course that you can find on my website, jasonredman.com or getoffx.com. And the 72 Hours to Peak Performance course will teach you about how do we overcome life ambushes, how do we build an overcome mindset, and how do we get balance through that pentagon. So guys, that's it. There is no balance in the force. Instead, it is understanding that balance is a continuous evolving target. And what we need to do is just make sure that every day, in my Point Man Planner, I talk about that. I talk about how the pentagon is a critical thing. And every day in the journal, the daily journal for the Point Man Planner, it shows you, hey, I need to think about this. I need to make sure I'm putting time and effort so that during the week, if it's out of sight, it's out of mind. But if it's in front of you, then we have the natural tendency to actually follow it and say, hey, I got to do this. So, all right, guys. So, boom, that is Monday. There is no balance. Balance is how we make sure at any given time we are looking at and we are applying time where it is needed, but we are not ignoring the other 4 areas of the Pentagon of Peak Performance. So, guys, that's what's up. If you are not a member of the Overcome Army and you're coming here just to check out Monday Muster, maybe this is the first time, check me out, jasonredman.com, or if you are watching on YouTube, make sure you go click on that little subscribe button, because obviously that helps out and that makes a difference in all the things that we're doing. And once again, if you're interested in more motivation and support, check out our Overcome Army group coaching, overcomearmy.com. So that's what's up. Get on this. It's Monday. Get out there. Find some balance. Take care. And put time and effort in the Pentagon of Peak Performance. That's what's up. I'm out. Boom.